Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We got a big beluga here, 2020 Lincoln Navigator. Another fancy Ford product, just like the 2013 Lincoln MKS over there. These things, for some reason, have weird intermittent electrical glitches. I just keep seeing them on Lincoln products. It's kind of weird, but it's a trend. So what's the customer complaint on this thing? Well, let's go over that. The owner, she's been to at least 2 dealers like 4 or 5 times. They've replaced the battery 3 times, this and that. What's the symptoms? Sometimes it doesn't start, doesn't crank. Sometimes the battery dies overnight. Sometimes she walks by the rear tailgate and it opens halfway, just like ghost, bizarre stuff. And she said sometimes, after they work on it or replace something or update programming, it's okay for maybe a month. And then the ghost comes back. So she's sick and tired of dealing with this, brought it over here, and I have no idea if we're going to figure this out, but I'm certainly going to try. So obviously we'll do a pre-scan, and this thing is all motorized. Everything's motorized, seats, wheels, running boards, everything's on buttons. Crazy. Here's the health report. This sucker has probably over 50 computers in it. It is honestly ridiculous what new cars are getting to, and no wonder that at 6,000 miles they start having electrical glitches. Not surprising whatsoever. So we have 3 red modules. BCM says steering column telescope motor, don't care. OSCM, lost communication with seat control module, don't really care. And then RFA, remote function actuator, has 13 codes for antennas 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, Bluetooth energy module, antenna number 2, control module output power C. So that's what we have to work with. Let's do some research and let's see what has been done already. Alright, so the owner, she sent me pictures of the invoices from the dealer, and let's just read her complaint. So 56,000 miles. It will go into an anti-theft mode. It will not start. If you disconnect the battery cable, it will start right up after a computer is reset. Back liftgate randomly pops open, and if I have the key fobs in my pocket along the side of the car, power running boards did not come down while approaching the vehicle. They have replaced the RDF module. I think she means RFA. I did clarify that. Check liftgate, replace the battery 3 times. Problem with not starting randomly still persists. It's been probably over 2 years and started at 29,000 miles. Crazy. State College Ford and Stuckey Ford are stumped to why or what is the problem. Okay, so in August of 23 at 38,000 miles, this is the first report she sent me, and they said retrieved fault codes, BCM and RFA, found a related SSM, reprogrammed the RFA module. First attempt at reprogramming failed, second attempt went through successfully, cleared stored faults, and test after, 1 code returned. Followed pinpoint test, unlocked and opened rear lift gate, and closed again, retest, and no further code stored. Okay at this time. Okay. Next year, August 24, 48,000 miles. It says checked and found codes for RFA frequency antennas, checked and found messages from Ford to disregard antenna codes, reconfigured the module and rechecked, all okay. Okay, that seems like a band-aid solution. October of 24 at 49,000 miles. Intermittent no start. Has to wait and try again multiple times until it starts. Notice lights on handles wouldn't shut off when vehicle is off and locked. And rear light bar assembly won't light up on left side. Perform oil change. So again, not really getting anywhere. December of just this last year, 51,000 miles. General concern won't start. Dash lights illuminated. Verified initial concern. Found battery to be extremely discharged. Battery was installed at another dealership. Found battery to be 3 years old off the shelf. Recommend replacing battery. So they did that. Okay, sure. January of 24, 52,000 miles. Rear hatch opens intermittently. Vehicle keeps going to anti-theft mode. Could not duplicate customer concern. Run Oasis found Liftgate may become inoperative due to RGTM software. Software's update to the latest level. Do not have any DTC stored. None at this time. Correction, none at this time. Vehicle operating as intended. So they basically say, okay, go away. Your car's not broken. February 24. It's this month. Anti-theft lockup won't start. Verified concern. Found vehicle will not start intermittently. Scan for DTCs for RFA antennas 1 through 12. All for internal electronic failure. Follow pinpoint test. Installed brand new RFA. Perform PMI programmable module installation. Verified all remote functions work as intended. Repairs complete. Well, it happened again with the brand new RFA module. So let's do some research. What is the RFA module, what it does, and kind of go from there. Alright, so keyless entry, PATS system operation and component description. And this is with the phone as a key option. So you have your phone. So this RFA is the Bluetooth module. I think it stands for remote frequency actuator. And it, through Bluetooth, once you get close enough to the vehicle, it'll detect that you're coming and open the doors for you, stuff like that. Also, I think either over Wi-Fi or just over cell signal, you can control whatever, start the vehicle, warm it up, lock or unlock the doors, you know, classic stuff that you can do on modern cars. So that's the system we're dealing with. Now, you know, Bluetooth antennas. How do you diagnose those? I talked to the customer, and you know, she just wants the car to do the basics, start and run, because you know, obviously this thing has keyless entry and the phone app. But I asked her, can you live without the phone app? Can you just use the fob, and you know, you approach the car, it'll open up anyways with the fob. Can we disable this phone as a key system and just let her drive it for a couple weeks? If there are 0 glitches, we'll know that the problem is definitely with the system, and then we can do further diagnostics. Because you know, she kind of needs her car back. This could take days, and if it's intermittent, and I don't have her phone with the app, so can't really test the system with, you know, without the actual smartphone there. So I think that's what we might do, but let's look at some diagrams first. So on any vehicle that has these intermittent either battery drains or weird activity in the network, we've seen this on, actually, was it another Lincoln, where the RTM module, the radio transceiver module, was going nuts, waking up the entire car. This thing has five separate networks. So, and all the codes point to this RFA module. So let's see if there's an easy fuse to pull and disable that, make sure the key fobs still work, and then I'll call the customer and say, drive it for 2 weeks. If there are absolutely no glitches, we'll be 100% sure that the problem is very localized in this Bluetooth module system, and then she can drop it off for, you know, a week, whenever, later to finish the diagnosis. So first off, this RFA module, the phone as a key, that's an option. It is on the medium speed network, MS CAN, along with the Telematics Control Unit, which is also, you know, has to do with remote starting and whatever. And if we look up the RFA, you see all these Bluetooth antennas, phone as a key system. There's our RFA power and ground. Fuse F19 5 amp in the BCM. I want to go after that, but what else does this fuse feed? So in power distribution, I found fuse F19 5 amp, and it splits off to the Telematics Control Unit and the remote function actuator. So both of those are on that one fuse, and that's it. So if we pull this fuse out and let her take the car, and if everything's perfect, then we'll know 100% that this problem is there. Even though it's intermittent, we'll at least narrow it down to that, that phone is a key system. And then if she wants to make it, as good as new, because it just went out of warranty, even though she has been, dealing with this problem while it was still under warranty. Lincoln, I think, was kind enough to give her an extended warranty, and they're actually on board with bringing it here and finding out what the issue is. So if she wants me to go all the way, we'll do that. But for now, we can see, can locate that fuse, pull it out, scan for codes, see what codes it's set, and then kind of take it one step at a time. So looking up all these codes, so we have codes for each antenna. What about this 15A5 and this one, U200F control module output power C. Let's look that up and see if that's related to all the rest of them. Okay, so looking up this trouble code, these are the RFA codes that are possible. PU codes, okay, U codes, U200F-15, control module output power B, circuit short to battery or open, go to pinpoint test B. If you click on pinpoint test B, and our code is this one. No, I think I went the wrong way. F15, go to pinpoint test A. It's crazy how many codes there are. This one, yep, pinpoint test A, and it says description sets when RFA module detects a short to battery or open with Bluetooth antennas. Bluetooth antennas, antenna exterior to number 2, 3, and 4. Huh? Because there's like 13 antennas here. Okay. So here, A1. Turn off mobile device Bluetooth, diagnostic scan tool, clear the codes. Do they come back? No. Concern may have been caused by an invalid signal from the Bluetooth. Okay, that's interesting. I don't suspect that there's wiring problems in such a new car. But you never know, it's a Lincoln. We've seen worse. 30,000 miles. A2, check for voltage to the Bluetooth antennas. Measure 3 volt to ground. So you should get is the voltage greater than 11 volts. So this RFA module apparently sends out voltage to each Bluetooth antenna. So there's LIN wires, and then here's a Bluetooth antenna, there's the ground, and then high side 1, where does that go? Let me find that. Okay, so on the previous page, looks like the high side from the RFA goes to all of the antennas. So Bluetooth antenna, antenna 7, and then MNO comes over here. There's MNO. Goes to antenna 3, 4, 2. So 2, 3, 4. And then 6, 5, 6, 7. This is crazy. What? Why do they need so many freaking antennas? High side 1 there. This is uncharted territory here. Now what about this B15A55648 Bluetooth low energy module? That's all it says. And here it says Bluetooth low energy module invalid/incompatible configuration. Well, how about that? Go to pinpoint test D. And can we just jump to pinpoint test D here? A, B, C, D. Alright, here we go. So pinpoint test D says sets when any Bluetooth antenna is found to have a mismatch with the RFA module. Self-test not completed. Check RFA trouble codes. Any other DTCs present? Yes. And that's it. Bluetooth antenna mismatch. So let's do this. Let's clear the DTCs out. Let's see if it can clear them out, and run the on-demand self-test. See if it's unhappy with something. Well, the self-test says there's no codes, and what else can we do? There's the module information, and if it doesn't set that not calibrated code, then should be programmed just fine. But why did this happen? This like glitch that set all these codes. So indeed, right now everything seems to be working fine. There's no hard fault. So I want to take that fuse out and let the customer drive the vehicle for however many weeks, and she'll bring it back later if if she wants us to go further. But with a problem that happens maybe a few times a week, only when the customer is using their own smartphone, I would need to see it happen real time and then see live data, for example. Let's take a look what data streams are available. So this is all the data stream that we have. Active diagnostic session, BLEM key delivered, yes, 13.4 volts. One or more devices on the blacklist, part number, mobilizer, identification, coded access. So, not very helpful. So we have these weird triple fuses here. So 19 and 20, or 18 and 19, are together. We want to take out 19. Let's see what's on fuse 18 as well. Alright, so for the fuse layout in this BCM, F19, that's the one we're after, it's together with F20. It's like a triple fuse or a double fuse. So what is F20? That's right next door. That goes to our ignition switch push button start. So we can't disconnect that. We just want to disconnect F19. Let me see if I have a single fuse that would just fit the F20 slot and leave F19 blank, or we can modify a triple fuse. So here's a triple fuse, 5 amp, and that's the only one I have. But I think the leg spacing is such that they're so close together, you can't just put a regular 5 amp fuse in place of the triple one. So I'm wondering, what about like a 15 amp? See, those legs are the same size. So, you know, the amperage here is okay. It might be a little higher, maybe a 10 amp. There we go. I see a 10 amp single fuse. So we can replace this with this and just install it in the 20 slot and leave the 19 blank. Let's try that. Alright, 5 amp double fuse is out, and there is the 10 amp single fuse in place. So let's make sure the push button still works. Yep, let's rescan it for codes and make sure that the RFA and the TCU are offline. Alright, let's see if the RFA is now offline. Oh, look, one code. Well, probably set because we pulled the fuse out. Yep, not responding. Okay, so let's clear that out and then smart scan again. See what comes up. Okay, perfect. So the only two new codes in the BCM, lost communication with Telematics Control Module and the RFA, Remote Function Actuation Module. And the APIM also says lost comm with RFA. TCU and RFA are grayed out now. Perfect, that's what we wanted. And these two codes are there, not concerned. So I think that's it. I'm just going to let the customer drive this thing and make sure it has no glitches whatsoever for at least 2 or 3 weeks. Alright, let's make sure the key fobs still work. So definitely locked. And I think if we come over here and touch the handle, yep, that works. That works. Make sure it starts up. Everything's good. So I think that's good for now.